Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Pure AI podcast, an AI generated audio version of an overview of the week's top stories written by our flesh and blood reporters. I'm Gladys Rama, editorial director at 1105 Media, and I'm joined, as always, by John K. Waters, the editor in chief of Pure AI. Hi, John.
Hi, Gladys. It's been another busy week in the AI space. In today's podcast, we'll be looking at Meta's massive $14.3 billion investment in Scale AI and what that means for the industry, especially given that OpenAI and Google are reportedly stepping back from the same data labeling firm. It's a huge play that speaks volumes about the value of data and talent in this competitive landscape.
Then we'll shift our focus to the collaborative side of AI with the Linux Foundation's adoption of Google's Agent-to-Agent, or A2A, protocol. This open standard is set to revolutionize how AI agents communicate and interoperate, and we'll discuss why this move is so critical for enterprise AI environments and who else is getting on board.
And speaking of Google, we'll be taking a closer look at their new Gemini CLI, an open source command line interface that brings their powerful Gemini AI models directly to developers' terminals. We'll explore its capabilities for coding and system tasks and how it fits into Google's broader strategy for empowering developers in the AI space.
Finally, we're going to delve into a truly unique perspective on AI governance. We'll discuss how Pope Leo XIV has made AI oversight a central theme of his early papacy, emphasizing human dignity and the technology's potential impact on younger generations. It's a powerful reminder that the discussion around AI isn't just technological, it's deeply ethical and societal.
All right, let's kick things off with that headline-grabbing story, Meta's colossal $14.3 billion investment in Scale AI. This isn't just a big number. It signifies a massive strategic move, especially when you consider that OpenAI and Google, who were once major clients of Scale AI, have reportedly been stepping back from their services.
It really turned some heads. For a while now, OpenAI had been quietly disentangling itself from Scale AI, months before Meta made this splash. Scale, founded by Alexander Wang, built its business on providing manually tagged data, images, text, video, which was essential for training earlier generations of AI models. OpenAI, Google, and Meta were all big clients.
And the shift from OpenAI is quite telling. They stated they weren't moving away due to competitive concerns, but because they're more advanced AI models that can mimic human reasoning and agent-like models simply needed a different, more specialized class of support. It seems their trajectory outgrew what Scale AI, at least in its previous form, could offer.
Exactly. The article notes that Scale had actually started hiring PhDs and domain experts to label complex medical and scientific data, trying to keep up. But for OpenAI, even that wasn't enough. They've since pivoted towards newer players like Mercor, which specializes in finding expert level human intelligence for highly nuanced data labeling.
What's fascinating is how Meta then swooped in. Their ambition has clearly shifted from steady iteration to outright acceleration. Before the Scale deal, they tried to acquire Perplexity AI, the rising AI-powered search company, but that deal fizzled. They also pursued safe superintelligence Ilya Sutskever's new lab, which didn't pan out either, but they did manage to recruit key talent like Daniel Gross and Nat Friedman into their ranks.
So, while the 14.3 billion gets them a 49% stake in Scale AI, the real prize, as the article points out, seems to be the people. Scale's founder, Alexander Wang, has now left to lead Meta's new superintelligence unit, bringing some of his former colleagues with him. This unit's mission, reportedly branded by Mark Zuckerberg as a moonshot, is to build next-gen AI powerful enough to compete directly with OpenAI's models.
It's an aggressive play, as even Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, acknowledged, mentioning Meta offered OpenAI staff 100 million signing bonuses. Meta's frustration is clear. Despite releasing solid research and competent models like Llama 3, they haven't had the same public impact as GPT-4 or Google's Gemini. They're clearly betting that human capital and specialized data annotation will be their differentiating factor.
And this focus on data is absolutely crucial. The underlying truth is that AI models are only as good as the data they learn from. And we're not just talking about massive amounts of scraped web data anymore. It's about nuanced, hand labeled, often proprietary information. As AI models become more sophisticated, evolving into agents and reasoning engines, the demand shifts from sheer volume to deep expertise.
This also brings us to the ripple effects. Google, another significant scale customer, reportedly began cutting ties after the Meta deal, wary of potentially giving a rival access, real or perceived, to its training pipelines. Scale, for its part, is insisting it remains independent, with interim CEO Jason Droge stating, "Nothing has changed about our commitment to protecting customer data."
But as the article succinctly puts it, that's cold comfort in an industry where talent and trade secrets are separated by only a few Slack exports. This entire situation underscores the increasingly zero sum nature of AI's next phase. Controlling the supply chain of human labeled data is a strategic imperative. As public data becomes commoditized or even litigated, companies are turning inward, investing in proprietary data creation, and crucially, poaching high value talent to manage it.
It's a fascinating dynamic. Meta is making a huge bet that the data labeled at scale and the expertise of the people behind it will give them a critical advantage. OpenAI, conversely, believes it has already moved beyond what scale can offer.
It highlights how the lines are blurring between model developers, data pipeline owners, and cloud infrastructure providers. No one is staying in their lane. And while the current AI wars are largely fought with models, this situation suggests that the next ones may very well be fought with the people and processes behind the labels. It's a reminder that even in the age of advanced AI, human intelligence and the data it curates remains paramount.
Moving from the intense competition for data and talent, let's shift our focus to an equally crucial aspect of AI's future: interoperability. We're talking about the recent announcement from the Linux Foundation, which is now hosting the Agent to Agent, or A2A, protocol project. This is an open standard initially developed by Google, and it has significant implications for how AI agents will communicate.
This is a massive step towards a more cohesive AI ecosystem. The core idea behind A2A is to enable secure communication and seamless interoperability among diverse AI agents. Think about it. In an increasingly fragmented AI landscape where you have various agents developed by different companies for different purposes, the ability for them to talk to each other, understand each other, and work together is paramount.
Exactly. The article highlights that A2A is designed specifically to help autonomous software agents collaborate across disparate systems and platforms. This isn't just about exchanging simple messages. The protocol allows agents to discover each other, share information, and critically coordinate actions. This directly addresses that growing demand for integration across complex enterprise AI environments, where you might have agents managing supply chains needing to interact with agents handling customer service, for instance.
And the fact that it originated from Google, but is now under the Linux Foundation's governance, is key. It ensures that this protocol remains vendor neutral and truly open to community contributions. Jim Zemlin, the executive director of the Linux Foundation, put it perfectly, stating that by joining the Linux Foundation, A2A is ensuring the long term neutrality, collaboration, and governance that will unlock the next era of agent to agent powered productivity. That long term neutrality is what will drive widespread adoption.
That's a crucial point. Without that vendor neutrality, companies might be hesitant to adopt a standard if they perceive it as giving an advantage to its originator. The Linux Foundation's involvement provides that necessary trust and collective ownership. And the support for this initiative is incredibly broad. The project was only initiated by Google in April, but it has already attracted the backing of over 100 technology firms. That's a huge endorsement of its necessity and potential impact.
Absolutely. When you look at the list of companies backing this initiative, it reads like a who's who of the tech world. Amazon Web Services, Cisco, Salesforce, SAP, Microsoft, and ServiceNow, just to name a few. Many of these tech giants are not just lending their names. They plan to actively embed the A2A protocol into their own AI infrastructure and tooling. This isn't just theoretical support, it's a commitment to integration.
Let's dig into some of those commitments. AWS, for instance, has stated it will contribute to the project and support a broad set of agentic frameworks and services. This means their vast cloud AI offerings will be designed to speak the A2A language, making it easier for developers building on AWS to ensure their agents can communicate with others.
And then you have Cisco's Outshift Group, which is a founding member. They're integrating A2A into several of their open source components related to messaging, identity, and observability. This is vital because agents need secure ways to identify each other and robust mechanisms to monitor their interactions, especially in enterprise settings where security and auditing are paramount.
It's clear that the enterprise software heavyweights see the value. SAP and Salesforce, for example, have echoed similar plans with a strong focus on enabling interoperability between their massive enterprise systems. Imagine the possibilities when an AI agent handling a sales query in Salesforce can seamlessly pull data from an SAP ERP system, all facilitated by a standardized communication protocol.
That's where the real productivity gains will come from. Instead of building bespoke integrations for every single agent to agent interaction, which would be a nightmare to scale, A2A provides a common language. Even Microsoft, though not listed as a founding member, has welcomed the project and committed to collaborating on future development, emphasizing the need for responsible, scalable deployment of AI agents. Their involvement, even if a step behind some others initially, validates the importance of this standard.
This really speaks to the growing maturity of the AI agent paradigm. For these agents to move beyond isolated specialized tasks and truly become collaborative, intelligent assistants across an organization, they need this underlying communication fabric. It's akin to how TCP IP enabled the internet. A2A aims to do something similar for AI agents.
It democratizes agent development too. By providing an open standard, smaller developers and startups can build agents knowing they'll have a better chance of integrating with larger systems rather than being locked into proprietary ecosystems. This fosters innovation and competition, benefiting the entire AI community. The fact that the agent to agent protocol is readily available on GitHub further reinforces this commitment to open development.
It also hints at a future where AI isn't just about single powerful models, but rather a network of specialized interconnected agents that can pool their capabilities to solve more complex problems. This isn't just about convenience, it's about unlocking entirely new levels of automation and intelligent decision making within businesses and potentially across broader digital environments.
Absolutely. The Linux Foundation's role here as a neutral arbiter cannot be overstated. Their track record with open source projects provides the perfect environment for a standard like A2A to thrive, ensuring it evolves collaboratively and meets the needs of a diverse set of stakeholders rather than being dictated by a single corporate entity. It's a very smart move by Google to hand it over to them, demonstrating a commitment to the greater good of the AI ecosystem.
So, while we just discussed the competitive moves in the AI talent and data space, this A2A protocol represents a collaborative effort to build the foundational layers for a more interconnected and interoperable future for AI. It's less about who controls the data and more about how everyone's AI can work together efficiently and securely.
It's about building the roads and bridges for the AI economy, if you will. And given the rapid proliferation of AI agents across various domains, from customer service to IT operations, this kind of standardization is not just beneficial, it's becoming absolutely essential for scalable and reliable deployment. The A2A protocol could very well be one of those quiet foundational technologies that underpin the next wave of AI productivity.
From establishing crucial standards for AI agent interoperability, we now pivot to a very practical and exciting development for developers: Google's release of Gemini CLI. This is a new open source command line interface that essentially brings the power of their Gemini AI models directly into a developer's terminal.
This is a game changer for many developers who live and breathe in the command line. It's about streamlining their workflow directly within the environment they're already comfortable with. The Gemini CLI is currently in preview, and it's designed to support a wide array of tasks, from coding and research to system level operations, all using natural language prompts. It's a true gateway to AI for the developer community.
Absolutely. The article notes that the Gemini CLI connects directly to Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro model. This integration means developers get a streamlined interface, not just for writing and debugging code, but also for automating workflows and even accessing web content through Google search, all without ever leaving their terminal. It's incredibly efficient for someone who's constantly toggling between different tools.
And the open source nature of it is a significant factor. Google has released it under the Apache 2.0 license, which is one of the most permissive open source licenses available. This means developers can inspect the code, contribute to it via GitHub, and crucially, integrate the CLI with their own custom workflows or team configurations. This level of transparency and flexibility is very appealing to the developer community.
Indeed. Taylor Mullen, a senior staff software engineer, and Ryan J. Salva, a senior director of product management at Google, highlighted this in their official blog post, stating it provides lightweight access to Gemini, giving you the most direct path from your prompt to our model. It really emphasizes the immediacy and directness of this tool.
Looking at its capabilities, it's quite comprehensive for a terminal based tool. Gemini CLI allows developers to perform fundamental tasks like reading and writing files, generating and modifying code, and executing shell commands directly with AI assistance. It also facilitates interaction with local and remote tools. What's particularly interesting and ties back to our previous discussion is its support for the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, for agent interoperability.
That's a key detail. It means that this CLI isn't just a standalone tool, but it's built with the future of interconnected AI agents in mind. The fact that it shares its backend with Gemini Code Assist, Google's AI tool for VS Code, further underscores this. Prompts submitted via either interface are handled using the same underlying model and agent logic, ensuring consistency and a unified experience across Google's developer AI offerings.
This kind of foundational consistency is critical for a robust developer ecosystem. Furthermore, users can extend the CLI significantly. It's scriptable, allowing for automation, and it supports plugins for additional functionality. Developers can even configure it with custom instructions via a Gemini MD file, tailoring its behavior to their specific needs or coding styles.
Google is clearly pushing for widespread adoption, especially among individual users. They're offering the Gemini CLI free of charge for personal Google accounts. This includes access to the powerful Gemini 2.5 Pro model and an impressive 1 million token context window, which is touted as the largest publicly available for a tool of this kind. That's a massive amount of context for an AI to work with directly in your terminal.
The usage limits are also remarkably high for a free offering, up to 60 requests per minute and 1,000 per day. Google claims this is the highest free allowance available for AI developer tools, which speaks volumes about their strategy to get this into as many developers' hands as possible. For enterprise options, of course, they have their Google AI Studio or Vertex AI offerings.
This release isn't an isolated event. It's part of a larger concerted push by Google in the AI developer tooling space. They've previously introduced Gemini Code Assist and Jules, an asynchronous AI coding assistant. This consistent stream of releases shows their commitment to embedding AI deeply into the developer workflow.
And it's a highly competitive space. They're up against well established players like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, OpenAI's Codex CLI, and Anthropic's Claude Code. While Google emphasizes Gemini CLI's versatility beyond programming, its terminal native, scriptable, and open source design clearly positions it primarily as a coding companion. It's their direct answer to these rival offerings.
The article also touches on a crucial point that applies to all AI coding agents: trust and reliability. Google expects developers to contribute to the tool's evolution, but there are still lingering questions. A 2024 Stack Overflow survey found that only 43% of developers actually trust the outputs of AI code generators, citing concerns about accuracy and security.
That trust factor is something all AI tool providers are grappling with. It's one thing to generate code, it's another for developers to fully trust that code in production environments without rigorous human oversight. Despite these challenges, the Gemini CLI is available now for preview, and developers can start using it by logging in with a Google account and downloading the installer from the official repository.
So, while the immediate utility is clear for coding and system tasks, Google's long term vision seems to be positioning the Gemini CLI as a foundational element within a broader ecosystem of interconnected AI tools and agents. It's an interesting blend of open source collaboration and aggressive competitive strategy.
From the intricate world of developer tools and interoperability, we now shift to a profoundly different yet equally significant perspective on AI, that of the Vatican. Pope Leo XIII has made artificial intelligence regulation a central theme of his early papacy, delivering powerful warnings about the technology's potential threat to human dignity, even as he acknowledges its unprecedented societal benefits.
It's a fascinating and crucial perspective, bringing an ethical and moral dimension to the AI conversation that's often overlooked in the rush for technological advancement. Speaking to legislators from 68 countries at the Vatican's Jubilee of Governments, the first American pontiff didn't mince words about AI's dual nature. He stated that the technology will certainly be of great help to society, provided that its employment does not undermine the identity and dignity of the human person and his or her fundamental freedoms. That's a strong call for responsible development and deployment.
What's striking is how quickly AI oversight became a signature theme for him. The article points out that he raised the issue with the College of Cardinals just 2 days after his election last month. This clearly signals its paramount importance to his leadership agenda right from the very beginning of his papacy. It indicates a deep, immediate concern rather than a gradual realization.
And his concerns extend specifically to the most vulnerable, younger generations. Pope Leo XIV expressed particular worry about AI's impact on children, cautioning that the technology's static memory simply cannot match the creative, dynamic power of human cognition. He's really highlighting the qualitative difference between human intelligence and AI, emphasizing that one should not be confused for the other.
He also called for the protection of healthy, fair, and sound lifestyles, especially for the good of younger generations. This isn't just about what AI can do, but what it might prevent humans, especially the young, from developing naturally. In a separate message to an AI ethics conference in Rome, he further warned of potential misuse for selfish gain and its use as a tool to foment conflict and aggression. This touches on the societal dangers beyond just personal development.
He even explicitly mentioned worries about possible consequences of the use of AI on their intellectual and neurological development among children and young people. These are serious long term concerns that go beyond mere ethical dilemmas into fundamental human development. It's a call to consider the very fabric of human experience as AI becomes more pervasive.
It's clear that this message resonated beyond the religious sphere. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who attended the Vatican gathering, publicly committed Italy to ensuring that the development of AI is governed by humans and has the well being of humans as its ultimate goal. This shows the potential for the Pope's moral authority to influence political and policy discussions on a global scale.
This isn't an isolated stance from the Vatican either. It builds on a foundation laid by his predecessor. Pope Francis in 2024 cautioned that societies were experiencing a loss of the sense of what is human. It seems to be a consistent theme from the modern papacy to address the human impact of rapid technological change.
And the choice of his papal name, Leo XIV, appears to be a deliberate and very significant reference. Vatican officials noted after his election that his selection, after Pope Leo XIII, who championed workers' rights during the Industrial Revolution, was not a casual reference. This historical parallel directly links today's AI revolution to past periods of profound technological and societal upheaval, implying that the Church sees its role as a protector of human dignity amidst these changes, just as it did during the Industrial Age.
That historical context is crucial. The Pope argued that while AI proponents promise acceleration in scientific progress and freeing people for higher value and creative work, human relationships require spaces for development that far transcend the limited patterns that any soulless machine can prepackage. This really cuts to the core of the human experience versus the machine. It's about the nuanced, irreducible aspects of human connection and growth that AI simply cannot replicate.
Exactly. He also emphasized that access to data, however extensive, must not be confused with intelligence, which he said necessarily involves the person's openness to the ultimate questions of life and reflects an orientation toward the true and the good. This is a profound statement, suggesting that true intelligence is deeply intertwined with morality, purpose, and the search for meaning, qualities inherently human. It's a reminder that data is merely information.
While the Vatican hasn't announced specific policy proposals for AI regulation, the Pope's repeated emphasis on the issue strongly suggests it will remain a significant priority throughout his papacy. It's clear that the church sees itself as a moral compass in this rapidly evolving AI landscape, urging a human centric approach to ensure technology serves humanity rather than the other way around.
It's a powerful and much needed voice in the global conversation about AI's future. It reminds us that beyond the technical specifications, the market investments, and the developer tools, there are fundamental questions about what it means to be human in an increasingly AI driven world. And the Vatican, under Pope Leo XIV, is clearly committing to keeping those questions at the forefront.
And that brings us to the end of another fascinating deep dive into the world of AI. What an episode covering everything from massive financial investments and strategic shifts in data control to crucial efforts in standardizing how AI agents communicate.
Absolutely. We've seen how Meta is making big bets on human capital and specialized data with their Scale AI investment, while OpenAI and Google are charting different courses. It really highlights the evolving landscape of AI development and who controls the essential ingredients for advanced models.
Then, the Linux Foundation's adoption of Google's A2A protocol for agent interoperability showed us the critical push towards making diverse AI systems work together seamlessly. This open standard is a huge step for the practical application and scaling of AI agents across industries.
And Google's Gemini CLI, putting powerful AI capabilities directly into developers' terminals, underscores the importance of accessible, open source tools in fostering innovation and adoption within the developer community. It's all about empowering the builders.
Finally, the vital ethical and moral dimension brought forth by Pope Leo XIV's focus on AI regulation and human dignity serves as a powerful reminder that beyond the tech and the business, AI development must always prioritize human well being and our fundamental values.
It's clear that business strategies, technological advancements, and ethical considerations are deeply intertwined in the AI revolution. Each of these stories, while distinct, reinforces how rapidly this field is evolving and the multifaceted impacts it has on our world.
And that's it for this week's Pure AI podcast. Be sure to check out our ongoing coverage of all things AI at pureai.com. And also check out the newest feature on Pure AI, the Converge 360 Elevator Pitch video series, which features snapshot interviews with executives who explain to their target customers what their companies do, how they use AI to solve common business problems, and how to get in touch with them to learn more.
Look for the Pure AI podcast every Friday on YouTube.
Until then, keep exploring and stay curious.